So head coach John Harbaugh was asked if Lamar Jackson is fully healthy after his performance last night, and he said yes, Lamar is fully healthy to play. Yeah, absolutely. Which has me thinking, okay, well, maybe it was just an awful game. Because when Lamar plays this bad, you think as a fan of football that he's injured, but he's just not injured. He just hasn't played good football all season, and we're going to break it down in this video. Lamar now has a 4-game slide in which he has not completed 60% of his passes. He did throw for over 200 yards last night, which doesn't seem like much, but Lamar's done that once in the last 4 games. So it's bad, guys, and we're going to talk about it in this video. There's just no reason during a 4-man rush the pocket should be collapsing like this. And Lamar tries to spin out of it, but then he gets stripped, and it falls right into a Bengal player's hands, number 52. I mean, look at this. It's just so frustrating, Rand. You got the ball right there. And then likely off of Lamar's best pass of the game, he tries to extend, and then he loses it right at the goal line, and it rolls out of bounds, and the Bengals get it at the 20. Again, points off of the board, man. Cannot happen. Every time the Ravens lose the turnover battle, they lose, man, especially in these games that they got to get, these big ones. And then this was honestly a horrible call. If you think this is offensive pass interference, you don't know anything about football, if I'm being honest. Here, let me give you guys a better look at this. Okay, so you're going to see right here, he does push off a little bit, but it's not enough contact to where that's a penalty. Like, that's this hard, tough football, man. It's just two guys competing, and then good catch, Flowers touchdown, but it doesn't count. And it just, another amazing throw by Lamar. He had a bad game, but this is a beautiful ball, and Zay had separation, and yeah, it's tough. And then Lamar just loses this one. It slips out of his hand, and the Bengals are going to take over in great field position. Look, this is a clean pocket. I mean, you can't have a better pocket of football. There's no one even remotely near Lamar. You've got 5 linemen, obviously. It's a 4-man rush, trying to stunt to the edge. And it's picked up, and Lamar all day to throw, and he goes to throw, step up, right, and then he just slips out of his hand, and a Bengal player, 52, again dives on top of it. Wow. So you had 2 fumble recoveries. Here's another look at it. Let's see what Lamar was looking at, man. Okay. Oh, wow. Wide open. Right here, coming across the middle of the field. And with that much time to throw, eventually someone's going to get open. And because the flat is covered, right? So the running back, Justice Hill, and then Lamar tries to go there, but he just loses it. I mean, and again, the Bengals get free points off of that. This time, it's the 2-possession game. The Ravens get the ball back off a strip on P. Ryan, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe they could pull off a crazy comeback. And yeah, it just was not the night to be able to do that. The Ravens did not deserve to win this game. I'm honestly kind of glad they didn't win this game because it's just they didn't deserve it, man. They've got to be better than this. It was sad. Shotgun formation, they motion likely, and you can see just step up in the pocket, but there's a defender right there at the line that's able to just get a paw on this right here. See, Lamar is stepping up in the pocket. It's getting pushed back, and then he just reaches up, tips it, and then it's picked off, man. And the Ravens had momentum. They were about to score right here. So, turnover again, taking points off the board. It's funny because the Ravens were on national television, of course, on Thanksgiving, and everyone saw Lamar play, and they're like, wait, who is this guy? If you've been watching the Ravens all year, you would know that Lamar has not been Lamar ever since the Bills game. I mean, he went absolutely off in that one, but since then, Lamar's been very, very human. And he threw for 246 yards, which is a lot for Lamar. I mean, he hadn't thrown for that many yards since week 3. Guys, we're talking about the last, 4 games? I mean, Lamar's thrown for over 200 yards once. His completion percentage hasn't been over 60%, which is honestly even more important than the yards, because if you're not efficient, then how the hell are you going to be able to move the ball down the field? And to make things even worse, the Ravens are not using Derrick Henry. Like, the opening drive, they go out there and they feed Henry and they score a touchdown, and then he has 2 carries the rest of the half. Todd Monken, he's been bad this season. He's just been flat out bad. And I'm not blaming it all on Monken because at the end of the day, the players need to execute and do what they got to do. Zay Flowers hasn't been getting it done. Lamar hasn't been getting it done. Derrick Henry doesn't get the ball. We know the offensive line is not good. Lamar's been sacked more this year than he was all of last year. And to this point, the Ravens still have to play, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. Even heading into the Bengals game, Lamar had been sacked more than the entire year. So 6 games, right? It's just not pretty. It's tough to watch this football team. I am a Ravens fan. I'm a huge Lamar Jackson fan, dating back to his Louisville days. But this is just bad football. Like, the Ravens, they beat the Bears, which was awesome, especially without Lamar. And then they beat the Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, and Jets. Not the best football teams, right? And it hasn't been all that pretty, if I'm being completely honest with you. Like the Jets game was pretty competitive. Tyrod Taylor was out there, a horrible football team that currently has a 2-9 record. The Ravens just have to clean this up. They've got to be better. They're turning it over, which is nothing new. The Ravens got beaten against the Bills in the playoffs last year, and they lost the turnover battle 3-0. And even the Browns game, I mean, that came down to literally the final drive. Shedeur Sanders had a couple of beautiful throws that were dropped. So it's just, this team is not very good, and they have the potential to be very good because I think the defense has played well. Like, say what you want about the defense. Yeah, Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow, but the defense did all it really could to just give this team a chance despite the turnovers. The Ravens still had a chance late in this game, but then Zay Flowers fumbled it, and then it was all but over to that point. The defense has played very, very well, and it's starting to generate pressure, and it's been sticky in coverage. Kyle Hamilton, Nate Wiggins got hurt, but this is a very, very Roquan Smith. They had him out, of course, in man-to-man coverage on a receiver on Yosivas, and he ended up scoring. So, Joe Burrow is going to make plays. I knew Joe Burrow was going to put up big numbers, but Lamar Jackson is supposed to be the guy who can go out there and go basically touchdown for touchdown with Joe Burrow, and sometimes you're going to have to score points, right, to win in the NFL, and the Ravens have to do that to this point. I don't feel very comfortable on them. Now, all of a sudden, Week 14 becomes, in my opinion, a must-win game. You're currently 6-6 if you're the Ravens, right? You have a home game against the Steelers. The Steelers are now in first place with this Ravens loss. Now, the Steelers do have to go to Orchard Park. Or, sorry, I think it's a home game. I think they take on the Bills. Sorry, I think it's a home game, actually. So root for the Bills in that one, and then to that point, you're now back in first place if you're the Ravens, which is crazy. This is not a first place team. It's just a bad division. And then, of course, the next week you have a home game against the Steelers, and then you can basically go 2 up to that point. And then at Cincinnati, which again, you can't lose that one because if the Bengals win out, and then the Ravens, they've got the Patriots, the Packers at Pittsburgh. So you're just playing with fire to this point. The Ravens need to start winning these games, and absolutely a win's a win, even if it's ugly. I'm not saying the Ravens have to blow out these teams, but they just have to win. Like, they have to find a way, and I don't want to see turnovers anymore, costly mistakes. And some of these mistakes, it goes beyond mistakes. Like Lamar just coughing up the football, literally handing the Bengals a touchdown is right on the goal line, that just can't happen. Zay Flowers not holding onto the ball. We broke it down at the beginning of the video during the tape, but I mean, like the Zay Flowers PI was BS, but again, it's just likely fumbling, coughing one up. That was Lamar's best pass of the game, and then likely tries to extend into the end zone and loses it, and the Bengals get the ball at the 20. This team has to be better. I hope they will be better because last night was just, it just ruins your Thanksgiving, if I'm being honest with you. Family is gone at that point. It's like, all right, Ravens coming on, let's go. And you just get your asses absolutely handed to you when Joe Burrow hadn't played football. And, I don't even know the last time Burrow hadn't played football since like the beginning of the year.